Hi, I'm Kate with Kate's Paper Creations. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I live in Washington State on the beautiful Olympic Peninsula, where right now we are totally cloaked in a thick veil of horrible fire smoke. But that is nothing compared to those who are suffering through the fires themselves. So my prayers go out to all of you. I'm sorry to see the devastation that is occurring because of these fires. Today I am bringing you a video from the current catalog. Each week on Mondays I produce a video using current products, and today I am using two current products, the prized Peonies bundle and the Borders Abound stamp set. And this is the card we're going to work on. Let me show you how I made it. Now, a while back, I made another card using these Borders Abound, and it was my blast from the past, and I really liked the layout, so it's a similar layout to what I've used before, but let me show you what I'm going to do. So I started with Very Vanilla, cut 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. We'll burnish the edge, and we have created an A2 side fold base card. Then I took Early Espresso and the fall patterned border stamp from Borders Abound. It's right here. It's a cute little leaf and border stamp. And let me get it on a... And I stamped it with Early Espresso. And I stamped it as close. This card won't stay closed, and I need it to stay closed so I can do this without that bouncing around. So I'll put some removable adhesive there and that'll make it lay down so I can work with it better. And I am going to stamp this as close to the edge as I can, and I'm going to have it go from top to bottom, so I'm also going to have to stamp it twice. And try and get that end right there. That'll work. Turn it around. Let's do the other one. Again, just as close to the edge as we can get it. Just like that. And just like that. That looks good. Okay, we'll put that away. Then I got out a blender pen. Let's see if we've got one here that isn't all gooped up. Yeah, that'll work. And I colored these leaves with different colors. So I colored some of them with Cajun Craze. And the blender pen just works beautifully. And this will take a little while. And I just randomly chose, because I'm going to end up using 3 different colors. I'm going to use Cajun Craze, Mint Macaron, and Crushed Curry. So I get some variety in the leaves. And I'm trying to kind of do it so that the same color doesn't overlap all the time, so that you've got some distinction between the colors. And let's do, and I'm not paying any attention to doing both sides the same. That is not even remotely critical at this point. Maybe even better if it doesn't match from side to side. It's just not that important. And variety is the spice of life, as they say, right? So there we have it. Trying to do these as quickly as possible. Like I said in a previous video, I don't have that fancy software where I can come in and do fast forward when I'm doing it. You get to watch me do all of it. And that's why I try to have as much of my video prepared as possible. This is the crushed curry, or no, this is bumblebee, excuse me, all to pieces. So yeah, I'm using bumblebee next. Kind of an orangey yellow color. I like bumblebee. I don't like bumblebees. They scare me. but I like this color. How have you ever gotten a bee in your car when you're driving and it just keeps flying around your face and it just freaks me out. And I typically have to pull over until I can get it out of the car because it just drives me crazy. I can't stand it. And then I also used some mint macaron. Let's see, this might be, try and clean up my blender pan a little bit. Gotta get some of that color out of it so I can get the mint macaron in there. There we go. And then we'll hit these with mint macaron. Now, is it macaron or is it macaroon? Somebody will have to tell me. I think most of the people I hear saying it say mint macaron. Isn't there a cookie or something named like that? I can't remember. I don't typically bake cookies, so that might be why I don't know how to say that word. Isn't that a beautiful blend? Oh, I like it. I like it. So many pretty colors. I'm just really in a fall mood. Today is just so dark outside. You'd think it was going on bedtime instead of just a middle of the afternoon time because it's so dark from that smoke. Okay, so there's my leaves, all nicely colored. Let's get that closed up. And we'll get that out of the way. Okay, then I took a piece, make sure I keep this so I know which side's the open side. I took a piece of mint macaron and I cut it 3 1/4 by 5 1/2, and then I used the Little Details embossing folder, and it leaves this lovely little blank spot in the middle, which is perfect for mounting something special. And so I embossed it, and I'm going to just attach it. There it is. And I'm just going to attach it to the card front and center it between those two pieces, those two borders that I put on. And it's just the perfect size to fit right between them. Look at that. Then I took a piece of the Gilded Autumn Designer Series paper, and this is the lovely mint macaron one with the gold shimmer in it. It's beautiful. And I used the border die from the Prized Peony stamp set, and it has this lovely scalloped border and some embossing, and so it's very subtle and it's hard to see in the pattern, but it's there. And I cut this piece 2 3/8 by 3 1/4, and then of course I cut the border off, putting it just as close to the edges as I could on these long edges, so it has this lovely little scallop, and I'm going to put it right in the center of that bare spot. So you've got that. Now that's the base card. It's done and ready. So now let's move on to the pieces for the flower. And I'm doing the flower from the Prized Peony dies, or from the Peony dies. I guess it's just peonies is what it's called. I put all of the pieces on an 8 by 3 1/2 inch piece of Very Vanilla, and I cut them all out at the same time. And I am going to color them with a brush. And I used Mossy Meadow for the leaves. Now the very ends of these leaves isn't going to show, so I just used my tool here to hold them in place. And I did the leaves, and I love it when the shading is all different, so I don't worry too much about the shading being all the same, because different shades makes them even more beautiful. And I made the leaf portion here, the base portion of the leaves, fairly dark. Oopsie, come back here. I'm not done with you yet. So there's those pieces. And then I did these little accent pieces, and I did them just a whole bunch lighter. Same color, just not as much density. And so they're not quite as dark. And again, this very end isn't going to show when we get it all put together. So I'm not worried about a little spot of white showing up there. So that's for the leaves, and we'll finish building those. And I also have the piece that's the little stamen that goes in the flower. And I could have taken the time to cut this out of a separate piece of black, but you know what? It will color just fine with the black marker. And so we're just going to do that. Get it all colored because I want it black. And that will take care of that for later when we're ready for it. Now I am going to attach these to the flowers, and I use my Zig two-way glue pen for this, because I saved myself some time cutting all of these out of very vanilla. I didn't put sticky backing on them because I didn't want sticky backing on everything, and so these I have to attach with glue then, and they're not that hard to attach. My Zig two-way glue pen works really well for that. Any kind of liquid glue would work. Gets hard to see them against my messy background, doesn't it? So this is the medium one, and we'll attach that one like that. Put it in place, and here's the smaller one, and we will put this one on there. And there are my three, get a hold of them, there are my three leaf pieces that are going to go behind the flower. Let's see those. So we'll set those aside for a moment. Put my glue away. And now I'm going to bring out the flower pieces, and there are 4 pieces. 1, 2, 3, and 4, from smallest to largest. Here they are. And I am going to color those with a brush as well. And I started with crushed curry on these, and I didn't worry about any kind of perfection. I just, oops, I think that one needs to be turned over. Yep. You know, kind of haphazard, actually looks kind of good. Then I brought in some Calypso coral, and we'll just pick up a little bit of color, and we'll put some coral in here. And I'm just not really worried about it being absolutely perfectly colored, because when it all goes together, it's going to look very nice. Now, to build these pieces, I'm going to use a glue dot to hold each section together. And you'll see how that is in just a minute here. Because you take this smallest piece and you open this one up. You can see how it opens up. And this is going to slide in behind like this, and then these ends have the same exact shape, so you know how to line them up So I put a glue dot on the back of one of those little bumps there, and then I'm going to line it up and press that down. So that's piece number one. Then I will get, or the first two pieces anyway. Then I will get this next piece, and again, it's going to open up, and I'm going to push this down in between like this, and it will want to hang up there a little bit. You'll have to watch out for that. And again, on the back, I'm going to stick one glue dot and line up those bumps, and there's the next one. And I need one more glue dot for this, and again, open it up, slide it in. I'm going to put a glue dot on the back of this one right here, and I am going to line it up like that. And there's my flower. Now I think I want some more color down in there, so I'm going to do that. And I think that the coloring came out just beautiful. And then you can take and mess with it a little bit. You can kind of wrinkle it and blend it. Now you could moisten this. I've done this in a previous video where I moistened it with just a very light spray of water, spritzed it very lightly, and I wrinkled them and unwrinkled them and then put them together, and it gave it a kind of a unique look. And you can see that in one of my other videos if you go look for it. But I'm just trying to give it a little bit of life by bending it up and giving it some shape. And you'll see a lot of that on the internet. It doesn't need a lot. Okay, then I'm going to bring in these three leaves, and I'm going to put a glue dot just on the end of each one of them. Like that. And then I am going to bring my card front in because I want these leaves to fit within the card. I don't want them to stick out past the edge of the card. So I'm going to kind of lay them in there so I can get some idea of where I want them to be. And then I'm going to attach them. And I'm going to put one there. And I think I'll put one up here. And I think I'll put the second one here. It doesn't have to be the same on any one flower. Just barely lets me. I'm going to have to move this one just a little bit further in. So get it just the way I want it. There we go. That'll work. Now here's the little black stamen that I colored, and I'm going to get another glue dot for that, and I'm going to put it right on the tail end of it, right here on the skinny end of that. And this tucks in between the third and fourth layer right in here, and I'm just going to tuck it in however far I think it looks good and press it in place so it's got the stamen in there. Then I'm going to attach this with dimensionals, the whole flower, and let's get a few dimensionals on here. That should be plenty. And get rid of those. And then I just put this right over that center portion. Gotta decide how I want the flower to sit. And there is the finished card. And I think it's absolutely lovely. I hope you like it too. I'd love to hear you. Leave me some comments. I love to get them. Thanks for stopping by.